Hi everyone, happy New Year's Eve. I hope you are as excited as I am to close out this year and the decade. I am here with a video that I was not expecting to record. I was actually sitting down, I just got home from work at the day job, and I was expecting to record the Virgo forecast, which I may still do tonight. So I apologize, my Virgo friends, if you're watching this and you're like, damn it, she was going to do that and I've got to wait longer. So I apologize for that, but I was sitting down getting the cards ready, and it was just like this overwhelming. I was not planning on doing anything special. I just did a Soul Connections video for the new moon, and I just, like I said, I've not been really, I don't know, just I've had a kind of a lot of confusion and crazy happenings and things going on in my journey. So I've just not really been as tapped into that lately, I'll be honest. And I sat down to do the Virgo reading, and it was just like, you're going to do a 2020 union forecast for Twin Souls. And I, uh, I really don't know what's going to happen. I mean, the format is not going to be the typical format that I'm used to doing. Usually when I do the soul connections, I will do the, masculine or feminine first, and then I'll sometimes do the union energies. Lately, the union energies have been honestly coming together, within the respective masculine, feminine, because the energies themselves are merging so strongly every day that goes by. So I think what I'm going to do is just pull a spread using the Twin Flame Journey Tarot, of course, by Mystic Moon. I'm going to pull just a spread that is on that, asking spirit, because there's obviously a message that wants to come out for me to be, feel this really strong pull on New Year's Eve um, to do this. And again, I don't know if I mentioned already, like this has been a crazy, like I've been at work all day, I've been to the grocery. I think I got maybe 5.5 hours of sleep last night. I worked out this morning before work. So all of a sudden I got this surge of energy, and it was just like, so I was like, I'll do the Virgo video. And they're like, no, you're gonna do this. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna pull this spread, and then um, I may just end up pulling some clarifiers if I need to. I'm gonna kind of just do what I'm guided to do. I might keep it short. I don't know. You guys know I'm probably not capable of that. I may end up pulling a card for each month of the year. That was something that kind of came to my mind. So I don't know. We're just gonna see. So just because what message do you have for the Twin Soul Collective, for Twin Soul Union for 2020? What do you want us to know about Twin Soul? Okay. Okay. Wow, that's pretty cool. Okay. Yeah, I think we're going to pull some clarifiers, because I'm not feeling like this is, I kind of feel like this is the energy that we're in right now, as we enter 2020. I think many of us are, and it may very well, again, because we have the masculine and feminine energy within us. I know I say that a lot, but so when I'm saying feminine, a lot of the times I'm referring to the actual gender, but it can be the energies as well. But I think many of us, especially the feminines on this journey, have recently just kind of been really not afraid to pick up that sword, set boundaries, take action to cut away the bullshit and the things that no longer serve. And it's been very painful to do that. It's been very, very painful. That's why we've got the Ten of Swords, this painful ending, closing out this year, closing out this decade, um, closing out painful cycles. And I think in many cases, what's we've been asked to do as the feminine, is just what I'm seeing, is to not accept crumbs, not accept childish behavior. There's only so much, there's a purpose obviously for separation, which is still, I think, coming, partially in 2020 for many of us. But at some point, there's got to be accountability for behavior, and there's got to be communication. And I think the divine feminines are being asked to find complete wholeness within themselves, to find the complete love within themselves, to just not need the crumbs anymore, to not accept the crumbs anymore. And I think that really shows the universe that you're in alignment and that you're in union within yourself. If you're happy within yourself, then and strong enough to pick up that sword and say, you know, I don't care if I've not seen you in months, weeks, days, whatever it is, I don't deserve to be treated this way. And if that means, this opportunity passes for us to spend time together or for us to start something new, I'm not going to chase it because I'm worth more than that. And I really think that that's sort of what this energy is shaping up right now. And I think a lot of the feminines, this is a difficult time closing out the year. Many of us thought, that come, I certainly, a year ago, New Year's Eve, I certainly didn't think a year later, that I would still be on this journey and wouldn't have somebody by my side, working with me towards, a mission or whatever it is. That being said, I can tell you that, a year ago, I sure as hell wasn't ready. And I'm probably still not now. I know there's still a lot of things that I need to do because a lot of the stuff that's happened the last couple of weeks has triggered some deep stuff within me. Old wounds, 5 of Cups, that's the current energy right now. I mean, some stuff that's like ancient, old stuff that I thought, I had worked through. And I'm just like, whoa, where is this coming from? I mean, and some of it's probably not even mine, some of it's probably the collective, but there's been a lot of anger, just frustration, yeah, I mean, just feeling like, like, why am I not good enough? Why do I scare everybody away? Like, is something wrong with me? And like, just all, and knowing deep down that's not the truth. I mean, I know why things are happening now. I know why people pull away. Um, but to have it happen multiple times, you're on the path for 3 years and then, you meet somebody new and then the same things start happening. You're just like, oh my God, what am I doing wrong? But deep down, and so I think that's where kind of we're at heading into this year is we're being asked, if we want this, this is destined. We've got the star here, universal alignment. It's about becoming into complete alignment with yourself. And many of us again are frustrated that things aren't further along by now. But I think what's blocking that is this 9 of Cups, having that ultimate satisfaction and wish fulfillment within yourself. Honestly, like at this point on this journey, um, I guess what the universe says, right? If we're in alignment, it doesn't matter if you're alone New Year's Eve or maybe not alone, you might be with friends, but let's say you don't have a special someone to kiss at midnight or whatever, you should still be out dancing carefree and it shouldn't matter. And if you're not at that phase, and if these old wounds are still coming up, then there's still things, at what point, I don't know. I mean, do we have to become Mother Teresa? I don't know. um, I would have not imagined the stuff that I would have had to clear and work through over this last year. So I have no idea what's coming. I did make a joke to one of my friends this morning. I said, it just came to me. I was like, I never would have, like, last year, New Year's Eve, think I would never, like, if you'd have told me what was coming last year, the past life stuff. I mean, you guys know the story about the guy I met in March and then the guy in the airport in October. And it's like past life regression and working through that ancient bond and unrequited love and forbidden love and past life narcissists. And I mean, it's unbelievable the stuff that has happened to me. It's literally, I can't believe it's real. I feel like my life has been a movie. Um, but I made a joke to my friend. I was like, okay, so I never could fathom that was happening. Like, what's next that the feminines have to do? Like, I think, like, am I going to get abducted by aliens and I have to go do like intergalactic past life karma? I mean, what the hell? Like, what else? And I shouldn't have that attitude, and now I have to say I'm in a much better mood for me to be able to put out this video. I think that's why it was kind of, because I even like tonight on the way home from work, I was like singing in the car and like dancing to the music and like back to my like I haven't felt that vibration of joy in weeks, probably a couple weeks, and and now I do, and it's coming back, and I knew it would. When you're in that Ten of Swords energy, it's very hard. It's like, but by now on this path, it's coming back. You just got to work through this shit, right? So, what I'm seeing is, there is some more. Yeah, I think this is more geared. I apologize if you're a masculine watching. This is more geared to the feminines. This is making sense right now, as to where we are. But like, I think there's still some of the burdens, some trials, tribulations, Nine of Wands energy coming through to start off the year. Again, I'm picking up on starting off the year. Because we've got this here, the Nine of Wands, and you're just like, oh my God, how long have I been carrying this shit on my back? And leading paving the way, especially if your masculine's unawakened, you've definitely been the one, energetically, who's been the one pulling this along. If you haven't awakened, masculine, I feel like still chances are you're going to be in a dynamic where they're a lot younger than you. There's some other, even if they're awakened, there's going to be a lot larger of differences in your dynamic that are going to make it, still more likely that they're the ones that aren't going to understand what's happening. Even though they're awakened, they might not know about twin flames, or they might not know about this connection and why they're feeling such intense energy and why they're scared and why they're running and maybe acting in ways that they normally wouldn't treat somebody. That so there's just a lot of that going on right now. But what I'm getting, okay, yeah. So we've got two communication cards. We've got the Page of Cups, which is the message of love, and we've got the Page of Swords, which is the thoughts. We've got the Magician, which is all about manifestation, and the outcome energy is the Queen of Pentacles. So what I'm getting here, this is a message, I think mostly to the Divine Feminines, that you really, and I feel like I'm talking to myself here, it's very hard when you're in this Ten of Swords, when you're in this Five of Cups, when all this stuff is coming up and you're frustrated and you're just like, my God, I just, I want to feel their arms around me. I want to know what it feels like to be touched. It's been so long, I just, haven't I proven myself that I can do all these, I can travel around the world by myself for a year. And it's, you get to this, like, I didn't expect it emotional, but it's just, you get to the point where you become numb and you close off your heart. At least that's what's happened with me, because it's just, you get so frustrated and just like you start working a lot and just pouring yourself into other things and not, because it's just too painful. But the message I'm getting, and I'm like catching on fire right now, as painful as this is, and as important as it is to hold up your sword and cut out, put up the boundaries. Okay, so I'm getting put up boundaries, not walls. Easier said than done. It's a delicate, fine line that we're being asked to walk. And I'm getting that rose quartz is good. Actually, that's probably why this wanted to be here. This is an orgonite that I got at Kokopelli, and I just love it. I'm absolutely, like, it's got I think it's rose quartz in there, and the gold. But it's going to be, I think, something that we have to work through, and maybe I think that's one of the trials and tribulations that we're going to have starting off this new year, is balancing boundaries and opening our hearts to divine unconditional love. Because it's very easy to get into that ego, like, how dare they treat me this way? How dare they do this? And knowing, understanding in your heart why it's happening. And so, whenever they do eventually reach out, and I think it's important you let them reach out to you. I think, that energy's been coming through a lot of other readers. The feminines are not going to chase anymore. They're not going to put them, they're just beyond chasing. It's like we still have work to do, yes, but we value ourselves enough and we're happy enough with ourselves that we know and believe that we can manifest. We're attaching it more to as an energy than to a person, that we can attract in some a 5D conscious partner at any time. So it doesn't have to be a specific person. You guys know I've had that happen on my journey, so I kind of am at the crossroads right now. But you've got to just open yourself to possibilities, but not act out in anger. That's something, it's like, how dare they treat me this way? But I understand why. And so, yeah, but I was getting back to, sorry to digress, was that when they do reach out, um, of course you're going to be loving and understanding, but at the same time, depending on, actions speak louder than words. So if they're apologetic and they follow through with their word, or not repeating the behavior again and again, if they know they hurt you, and making a genuine effort to make it okay, that's different. So it's hard not to have your guard up, to have boundaries and not have your guard up. So I think that's what our challenge is going to be going into the new year. But what I'm getting at is why we've got, I think, the Page of Cups here and the thoughts, the Page of Swords. For me, the Page of Swords card is honestly, a lot of times it's about cutting off communication. It's about picking up that sword. But here, not in this deck, that's not what I'm getting here. Look at how this energy, this essence is emanating from, and it looks like from a feminine's head, combined with the Page of Cups. So I think this is about sending your communication. This is a strong urge, I think, to send telepathic love, send it from the heart, not just the mind. But some of us, like, I think, for me especially, because I was having that telepathic connection for a couple of years, and when I think it's attached to a certain person and then like it's not, I've kind of cut that off. And so I think this is kind of just like trying to be open to like whatever, and many of you know who your counterpart is, and you're certain of that, but don't cut them off energetically and from the heart. It's one thing to set boundaries in the physical, but I think what we're being guided to, the message that's really wanting to come through right now, is to open your heart to the higher realms of love, right? They might not be doing what you would hope or expect in the 3D, but you have to connect. And it's maybe not even like an attach. You've got to be careful too. Like I struggle with, well, I don't want to like attach it to a specific person, because I'm kind of like letting whatever comes in, at my vibration at the time. Like I'm open to somebody completely new that I haven't even met yet coming in and being my divine counterpart, because I believe any of that could happen. So you don't want to be needy and like just clingy. So I think like the best thing you can do is just go within your heart, talk to God, or just address them generically, my beloved, however you want to say it. But I think this is about manifesting. Clearly, this is about manifesting energy. And sometimes, well, most of the time in this type of dynamic, energy speaks so much louder than words. Not responding, not, just slightly shifting yourself in your demeanor. If they're sensitive to your energy, they're going to notice that. And that's more powerful. You can say all the things you want. You can get frustrated. You can scream. You can go off on them, and their behavior doesn't change. But when you actually, and it's not an act, it's not a like, well, I'm mad at you and I'm not going to talk to you. No, it is a noticeable shift within you that when you get to this 9 of Cups, when you have your sword up and you mean business, you have to mean it. You have to be willing to let them go and cut them off. Literally, like, be okay with never seeing them again because of the way, if they're not ready, it's like, you know what, someone else will be. And it doesn't mean you don't love them and are not grateful for what they've done for you and how they're triggering and all of these things have forced you to love yourself and grow. But you literally get to that point where something just shifts in you and you're just like, I don't need you anymore. I don't want you in my life if you're going to act this way and if you're not going to be ready. So it's literally a shift in the energy. And I think, like, again, don't get too caught up in the swords and the wands and having these things up and guarding yourself. I think we're definitely being guided to communicate from the soul, from energy. And if you aren't sure who your person is, or if you don't want to attach and you're feeling like you don't want to be too, putting yourself out there and like codependent, just send it to God. Send it to who, don't name them. Again, call them your beloved. Don't attach a name to it. But again, this is about us manifesting and becoming the Queen of Pentacles. And again, notice how it says nurturing here. So queens are strong. They don't put up with bullshit. But this one is nurturing and she's got everything together. She's got her career. She's got her home. Focus on your pentacles, but also focus on opening your heart. So that's I think what needed to come out. And I know I needed to hear that. But yeah, I mean, look what we got here. We got the star, universal alignment. And then notice again how it's a feminine here. She's kind of the one like leading the way. I'm gonna, let's see what we're gonna do here. I'm gonna just go ahead and pull, I wanted to keep this kind of short, but I want to pull a union energy message for each month. We're just gonna do it. All right. Not surprised to see that one come out in January. Oh my God. Holy crap, you guys. This is amazing. Wow. All right. This is the, I think it's the Light Seers Tarot. I can never remember. This is the new deck that I just got. So, January, 10 of Wands. This is like, look at this feminine. And of course it's a feminine, right? Like she's literally like been on this freaking long ass journey. She's got all of this luggage. She's doing it all. And I know I'm not, and I don't, that sounded really shitty that like the masculine has not been doing anything. That's not what I meant. So I apologize if it came across that way, but like the feminines, this is how you're feeling right now. But look at this. She's going down the hill. She's descending down. So this, I think, is confirmation that we're getting close. But there is still some work to do, and I think it has to do with opening our hearts. February, I think there's going to be some unions in February. I think, again, with the magician energy, we have the ability to manifest things rapidly. Our thoughts are powerful. Our energy is powerful. And I think if feminines, you follow that guidance, again, easier said than done because it's energy and you have feelings and you have emotions as a human being. Sometimes I feel like we're kind of like tasked to not be like human anymore. But you do. And so you can't always control how you feel. And if you feel negative, you feel angry, let it out, face it. There's nothing wrong with that. Like I was kind of mad at myself these past few days. Like, why am I so pissed off? And like, why am I so upset? And, I realized like if I'm being triggered this badly by something, like clearly it needs to come out. And, finally, like last night I went to the gym, I lifted weights, which felt good. I did a bunch of squats and I'm paying the price now after this morning too. But I came home and I sat down and I there were certain crystals I was drawn to and I just held them in my hand. And there were ones I normally don't use, which was interesting, but I just went with what I was drawn to. And I just sat and I just cried. I cried. And I mean, I didn't get real deep in. I know I've still got some more work to do there, but I just let stuff just flow out. and it felt really, really good. So anyway, February, we got the Hierophant, which for me is the spiritual union card. It's a major arcana. This could be, I'm picking up on I think there's definitely going to be some unions in February. Definitely. I think that's when a lot of them are going to start. I think that, this could be that also that many masculines are going to awaken in February if they haven't already, because this is a masculine in this card. But I think this is also further guidance that if you're not, you aren't the one coming into union with your counterpart in February, to continue to connect to the divine, to continue to send the energy and the love to your counterpart through the divine. I can tell you, Cassidy Kane, Twin Flames 1111, her higher dimensional anchoring meditation is worth every penny. It is absolutely phenomenal. I do it even sometimes not to connect to my counterpart, but just to relax and just to clear my chakras. And it's absolutely beautiful. So anyway, February. March, we've got Two of Swords. So that's not always great energy. There's the feminine is tied up. So some of you could be at a crossroads. You could, if you're on this journey, you might have offers from two different masculines. You might be kind of torn which way are you going to go? Are you going to go with somebody you've been on this journey with for a while? You're connecting to this energy might attract in someone else. So I think that's there's going to be a choice in March. This also could be about, maybe working to find some more balance. She's got this tattoo. But I think, again, if you're not one of the ones in union, you're going to be at a crossroads and maybe needing to find some balance, close some stuff out, because we've got the crows here. But by April, look what shows up, Knight of Cups. We've got the Knight of Cups, which in this deck, this one really stands out to me because he looks like he's really making an effort. Like, I know I say this, like he could ride away on his horse, like into the night, but he's got flowers. He's got his hat off. He's got a chair. He's sitting there. He's got wine, a picnic, a card. Like he is making an offer. So I think that there's going to be a lot of unions in February, and I think there's going to be a lot of them in April and May, because May, we've got the Sun. Major Arcana, I mean, that's the best card in the deck. Absolutely. And if you aren't in union at that time, if that doesn't end up happening for you, because again, you know how I am. I don't know about predicting timing, how this works. I've had it work sometimes, but energies can change. Then you may very well have made your decision with, after this Two of Swords energy, your Knight comes forward and like you're just really happy and you're starting kind of a new, healthier dynamic with someone, right? So for some of you though, come June, if you're not in union, there's some Seven of Wands energy coming in, which is kind of some defensive energy. I could see, maybe some triggers if you're like, oh my God, if this is me, it's like June, I'm gonna be like, really? Like, it hasn't happened yet? Are you serious? Or if you are in union, there could be some, you're still gonna probably trigger each other once you're in union. So just be careful about that, to try to, keep your heart open, keep connecting to source, balance your chakras. I'm getting that because we've got all the different colored wands here. Just, just because you are maybe in union at this point, you still, like, the work doesn't stop. I think that's what message that we want to hear. What you have to trust is, if you're in this situation where you're not in union, let's see, that was May, June, by July, new beginning, July and August, Leo season. Look what we have. Boom. The Fool and Ace of Wands. Yeah. So, and I did hear a reading the other day where somebody was saying that they thought there were going to be a lot of unions between February and July. And I'm definitely seeing that for sure. Because, we've got the Hierophant in February, we've got the Knight of Cups, we've got the Sun, and then we've got the Fool and the Ace of Wands for the summer, for July and August. For September and October, we've got Three of Wands and Nine of Pentacles. So what I'm getting is, for those of you who aren't in union by this point, things you will have, I think, manifested, and you're going to have some opportunities coming forward. And you're going to have to look to that. I think, though, if you're not in union by this point, there's going to clearly be some more self-work that needs to be done with the Nine of Pentacles. Definitely, if you're not stepping into mission on your own without your counterpart, that's something that you need to do, especially as a feminine. Maybe get some Reiki training, start dabbling in tarot, just maybe just become, kind of even volunteering at a school or something like that. You can shine especially with kids, you can shine your light. You don't have to do what I'm doing and do tarot on YouTube or anything like that. You can just guide people and help people awaken in other ways that, non-traditional ways that you may not be thinking about. So I'm getting that strongly for fall. And if you are in union by that point, I think, it's still important to for each partner to have their own interests and to work on themselves as well to stay balanced in the connection. So by year end, um, we're closing out the year, November and December, with Page of Cups and Three of Cups. So, and Six of Pentacles was on the bottom of the deck, which is about teamwork. It's about collaboration. So I think, especially with the Hierophant showing up here, Ace of Wands, I think the energies look really good for there to be a lot of unions this year. I just think, again, the pivotal thing is that the feminines have to set boundaries but not put up walls. That's the thing I'm getting. And, to close out the year with the Three of Cups is about celebration. So some of you, this could move really fast. If you get in union in February or, April, May, I mean, you may already be engaged. Or getting married by the end of the year. So this is really funny too, because this card, the Page of Cups, has a pig with wings. I'm like, when pigs fly, like some of you might be feeling that way by that point, really. So I don't know. I'm excited to see how this pans out. Again, I've never done a reading like this before. Obviously, I didn't even have a YouTube channel a year ago, so I have no idea how these predictions are going to come to fruition, but I just felt like these messages, they really needed to come out. So I'm trying to see here if there's any oracle cards that want to come out. Yeah, I'm going to pull, we're going to see what comes out for the Romance Angels from Union Energy for 2020. So we got getting to know each other. As you reveal your innermost selves to each other, your bond deepens. I mean, that's honestly a beautiful card. Of course, it's not wedding or engagement or something like that, but it's not separation or red flags or anything like that either. So it could be worse. I think that's what many of us have just wanted so badly on this journey, is that, if you've been on this journey for years, you probably feel like you know this person so well, yet you don't know them at all. Because chances are, they don't spend a lot of time with you, they ghost, they don't open themselves up. So, for this card to come out, then in 2020, you're going to get to know each other and reveal your innermost selves and your bond deepens. That to me definitely spells union right there. That's progress. And if you've just met somebody, of course you want to get to know them. You want to get to know them more. So either way, I think this is a beautiful card. And I think, what Spirit wanted me to just really convey to the feminines right now is, yes, this energy is heavy. Yes, it's New Year's, and 2019 maybe didn't pan out. None of this, panned out maybe the way you hoped or expected, but everything is happening as the way it should. And you have to focus on the progress. You have to focus on not focus on the when or the how, but just focus on your heart. And you're doing the right thing. You're on the right path. You've just got to just open your heart. Open your heart and maybe meditate more if you're not doing that. Like I said, even guided meditations that can anchor you and connect you into that 5D energy. Again, it was Cassidy Kane, Twin Flames 1111, higher dimensional anchoring. There's a bunch of other meditations that she offers. There's some that are cheaper, they're shorter. There's like a higher heart healing. There's an inner child healing. I mean, I've done all of them. There's a oneness that's amazing, but the higher dimensional anchoring for me is just the best guided meditation, one of the best I've ever done. So I would recommend that. The other day when I was feeling really, really heavy, I think it was Saturday or Sunday. I think it was Sunday. Yeah. I laid down and I did that meditation and I felt so much better. Like about 5,000 pounds was taken off of me. So it's just very important. I just wanted to connect to that divine, that joy, that higher vibration. And I was struggling to do it myself because of all the stuff that was getting triggered in me. So, um, this is really beautiful. And I think sometimes we feel hopeless on this journey, helpless, like the Katy Perry video I posted tonight where she's like weighed down by this, like she's like I'm stuck, I'm tied to this, but it's like a self-imposed prison. If you would just stop fighting it and you would realize you can manifest and you can change your reality, you've just got to change your attitude and surrender to it. um, it's easier said than done sometimes, but just don't get disheartened when you do have those bad days and that energy comes up, because it's okay and it's perfectly normal. So, and you guys know I will be here with you every step of the way. And I think 2020 is going to be our year. So hang in there, and I can't wait to see how it all unfolds.